They won't do anything to save the lives of our children at all. Cowards, pressure them, force them to respond to the question, why the hell won't you do anything to save America's children? And let them explain that all the way up until election day on 2024. Let them explain it all the way up to election day on 2024. They're freaking cowards.
That was Progressive Congressman Jamaal Bowman calling out his Republican colleagues and their unwillingness to do a damn thing in response to the endless gun violence in this country, the endless mass shootings on school campuses. And of course, this comes in the wake of yet another mass shooting that occurred in Nashville, Tennessee in a private Christian school. 3 children and 3 adults were slaughtered in that mass shooting. Now, Bowman's outrage was interrupted by one of the staunchest opponents of gun control in Congress. Let's take a look at how that exchange went.
They're not here. I'm talking about gun violence.
You know, there's never been.
I'm talking about gun violence.
A school that allows teachers to carry.
Oh my God. Carry guns? You think more guns lead to more death? More guns lead to more death. Look at the data. You're not looking at any data. You're carrying the water for the gun lobby.
So for those who might have had a little bit of difficulty hearing what Representative Thomas Massie, a Republican from Kentucky, was saying to Bowman in that video, he said, quote, "You know, there's never been a school shooting in a school that allows teachers to carry." And I would like Republicans to make up their minds about teachers. Are they dangerous groomers that we shouldn't trust? Or are they individuals that we should give guns to protect your children? And to be clear, I don't think that teachers should have the weight of having to do that on top of the low pay and the lack of appreciation they get on a daily basis. But with that said, I should note that there have been plenty of mass shootings where there's a resource officer or someone who's armed, someone who is supposed to be protecting the students from mass shooters on campus, and didn't work out so well. Here's some examples. There was the shooting in Robb Elementary in 2022. There was an armed resource officer on the scene there. Same with Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, that shooting in 2018. Santa Fe High School shooting in 2018. Marshall County High in 2018. Great Mills High School in 2018, Santana High School in 2001, Columbine High School in 1999. Some of the deadliest school shootings in American history had an armed resource officer on the scene. But these politicians know that. They say what they say, they lie to our faces because they're paid to, and because their campaign donations from the gun lobby happen to be far more important to them than representing the best interests of their constituents and keeping Americans safe and alive.
Okay, so guys, this is not just about guns. There's an amazing development happening in Congress. Haven't seen it in 40 years. Get to that in a second, but I also want to tell you that video, Thomas Massie was not the worst politician in that video. I'm going to explain who was in a second. In fact, I 100% disagree with Massie, but I like what he did, so I'll explain that too. So let me go back to the why this is so important. For the first time in like 40 years, I'm seeing Democrats fight back. It's shocking, absolutely shocking. I couldn't believe it when I saw this video. So I know Jamaal Bowman, you saw him on the show 100 times. You saw him before he won. You saw us talking about him early on in his primary when literally no one was talking about him, right? But we have seen progressives go to Congress and then get neutered. Let's be honest, and totally disarmed, and learn to play a role, the role of not doing much, okay, and listening to Democratic leadership, which is actually in that video too. You might not have seen it, and that's what I'm going to get to in a second. But here he is now going, God damn it, I've had enough. Great. The other day we did Maxwell Frost, him calling Republicans cowards, telling people on the floor of Congress that they were bought and paid for, talking about corruption, calling out colleagues. That's awesome. A person we haven't had a chance to give a lot of credit to yet, Stacey Plaskett, and I actually don't know much about her, but she's now being far more aggressive and fighting back in congressional hearings. All of a sudden, it's a trend. Now, look, there's a good reason and a bad reason for the trend, but I'll take it. I'll take it. That's fantastic. God, we're like a person dying of thirst in the desert, and this is an oasis. Finally, somebody fight back, right? So who's the worst politician in that video? It's Steny Hoyer. So Steny Hoyer was the #2 Democrat in the House for a long, long time, worked with hand in glove with Nancy Pelosi to do the corporate agenda, make sure that progressives never fight back and never have a voice. There he is right there, okay? Now you see him come in and go, what is he trying to do? He's trying to make sure that Jamaal does not fight Republicans. He thinks that's terrible and embarrassing. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. He's trying to pull him back literally, physically, right? Hoyer, Pelosi, same exact person, okay? They same exact policy, same exact attitude, etc., right? But luckily, Jamaal doesn't listen to him. For 40 straight years, I've seen Democrats, Steny Hoyer type of person come and go, whoa, 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 whoa. And the Democrats goes, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. Don't to Thomas Massie, I'm begging you, I'm so sorry. But Jamaal stood his ground, yes. And finally to Massie, I don't mind what he did, that's good, let's do a debate. You think arming teachers and having them shoot at former students is a great idea. I think you're a moron, I also think you're corrupt. But that's good, let's have it out, let's have it out. What is Congress for? It's for debates. They have all these arcane rules that prevent them from actually debating on the floor. So great, then debate in the hallways. Thank you, Massie, for stepping up and representing your side. That's what a democracy is supposed to look like. I think your ideas are terrible, but I love the debate.
And call out the corruption, call out the money that gets funneled to these Republican politicians from the gun lobby. And Bowman referenced it, but let's give you some more details. So Thomas Massie, the Republican he was in a shouting match with in that video, has opposed nearly every effort to regulate firearms, including discussions to ban bump stocks for semi-automatic weapons after the deadly massacre in Las Vegas, Nevada, which, if I'm not mistaken, still stands as the most deadly mass shooting in American history. 56 people were gunned down. It was one of the worst mass shootings in the country. And his Christmas card from 2021 is what you would expect it to be. Everyone in his family holding, guns, assault weapons. Nothing says Christmas cheer like that for some Republicans, I guess.
Well, if anyone breaks into the house and is trying to, take your milk and cookies, at least everyone's armed and ready to murder Santa. Oops. Yeah. I mean, what would Jesus want? To turn the other cheek? No, that's written in the Bible. You don't listen to the Bible. Jesus would get an AR-15 and give it to his kids too, and murder whoever is in the vicinity.
Now, back in 2019, Massie claimed that he was not at all corrupt and was not bought and paid for by the gun lobby. He tweeted on August 25th of 2019, the NRA hasn't given to my campaign in the last 2 election cycles. In total, they've only ever given $2,000 to my campaigns. Through personal purchases of firearms and ammunition, I've given more than 10 times that amount to gun manufacturers and gun dealers. Interesting, except it's not true. So he was careful because he said they didn't give directly to my campaigns, but they did contribute to your campaign committees. So let's get to that. If you take a look at the next graphic, there's evidence of NRA and pro-gun PAC contributions to Thomas Massie in election year 2018. The total amount was $12,000. It was higher in 2016, $65,988. Might have something to do with the NRA going bankrupt around 2018. I remember doing that story.
Yeah. So that's right. And look, let alone the dark money, let alone the gun manufacturers themselves. Look, these guys are all criminals, okay? I'm talking about the politicians. And so they take tons of money from corporate PACs and the NRA and lobbying groups, etc. And then they pretend that they are principled my ass, okay? And Thomas Massie is one of the biggest posers in terms of principles. But I'm happy to debate him and have the Democrats debate him any day on those so-called principles as he stuffs his pockets full of money earned honestly by this death and destruction and the massacres of our fellow citizens and children. And he thinks the idea is, well, yeah, but if we buy more guns and hand it to the teachers, should we also hand it to the janitors and randos walking by? Of course he says yes, because then some percentage of those sales will go back into Thomas Massie's campaign contributions. Understand how these crooks work.
Now, one more video featuring Massie telling Bowman to calm down about children getting slaughtered.
States that have open carry laws have more deaths. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Calm down, children are dying. 9-year-olds children. Because the solution is not arming teachers. Have you ever worked in a school? 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 It's a yes or no question. Have you ever worked in a school? You will not answer my question.
I gotta say, I love that he didn't back down. I love that he didn't back down. I love for one of the first times in my career covering political news, you see a Democrat showing how strong he can be and not backing down. And I hope it's not a fluke. I hope it continues. I wanna see more of this. You know, it's hard for me to get excited about these stories, Cenk, because I'm so incredibly disappointed in, progressive lawmakers too, right? A lot of talk, a lot of tweeting, a lot of Instagram stories, a lot of garbage that really doesn't accomplish a damn thing. That's something, okay? In the halls of power, that is something. I hope it's not a fluke and I hope it doesn't stop. If he continues fighting like that, I've got his back. 100%. And finally, he took the fight to Twitter afterwards, tweeting, Republicans don't do crap when it comes to gun violence. But try to tell me to calm down. No, we can't calm down. People are dying every day while we wait.
Look, I love it, and thank God, Jamaal Bowman. There you go, there you go. There's a just Democrat, there's a progressive, there's a fighter. That's what you're supposed to do. It took a little while, but thank God the fight's there. And by the way, if you don't know why they get even more nervous, because usually the media yells at them after something like this and say they're being uncivil and it's their fault. But now things are breaking apart, man, and so it's a free for all. This is the upside of it, where some Democrats are not being controlled anymore by Democratic leadership, which is also generally corrupt, and they're actually fighting back. It's a wonderful.
Yeah, why allow yourself to be controlled by the old guard that hates you and everything you stand for? You got elected as a progressive because of your message, as someone that was gonna go into Congress and be different, fight back against the old Democratic guard. So do it, I love to see it.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.